Okay.
All right, so we are live. Welcome to the Full Moon Hangout, and I am Darling from xoxdarling.com. This is Susan Grace, and you can find her at susangrace.org. We are here for the next hour on the recording, so if you're watching from YouTube, thank you for finding us. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for subscribing as well. And I really encourage you to join us live next time. That way, past the hour, you get to hang out and listen to all the shenanigans that happens before, all the shenanigans that happens after, and all of the real deal questions that we go through once the hour is done and Q&A is not over with. So thank you to everybody who's here live. It is awesome, as usual, to have you all here. I appreciate you. We love you so much for being here with us and supporting us through and through. Susan, your intro.
And we're here every 2 weeks. So we do new moon and full moon. So this one is the full moon. Obviously, full moon is happening tomorrow morning at, I think it's, I need to look it up. I'll look it up in a second. I think it's 9:18 a.m. Eastern. I'm just pulling that off the top of my head. That may not be completely accurate, but tomorrow morning is the full moon. So we're into the full moon energy already. We're going to be writing it out pretty much through the weekend, but we're here for new moon also. So we appreciate people who are here live. Everything that we talk about, it involves the energy of people who are here with us, but it also involves the energy of people who are watching us on replay. We appreciate you being here too. So how are you feeling, darling?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling, like I said, I could use some energy, but aside from that, I'm feeling good. I feel like there's a lot to be said. I feel like there's a lot happening in the energy sphere, but yeah.
Did you feel a difference between the moon going from Scorpio to Sagittarius?
Yes.
We're both Scorpio, so whenever the moon is in Scorpio, we're like, watch out, here come the machetes, you know?
Yeah.
But I always feel a relief in the transition between Scorpio to Sagittarius, like, oh, thank God, right? Except that Saturn's here now, so it's like you're kind of it's like relief without any support. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I feel like it's like a relief because it feels like you almost got, I want to say we got dropped, but it's almost like, you know, like we stopped spinning a little bit. But even still where we are, I guess it must be because of the Saturn, where we are, it's still very much filled with kind of like a lot of people are feeling like overwhelmed. A lot of people are feeling with, you know, somewhat of an anxiety without knowing, you know, what for. So we're seeing a lot out of that too. And I think that's what you said. It's not having the validation, not having what you want all right here, but seeing it a little bit further in the horizon.
What's interesting is that while you were talking about not having validation, right, is that on another screen, I was trying to pull up the chart for right now to know exactly where everything is, and astro.com is down. I'm literally getting no validation right now.
Your validation is that you are an amazing, knowledgeable, smart, beautiful woman, and it is all in your head. It is like it's all in there.
Thank you. Okay, so I was without internet today, so I didn't do the post today, and I really haven't dug deep into what the chart's going to be like in the morning tomorrow for the full moon. So I'm just going to wing it. So full moon means that the moon is opposite the sun. That's a full moon. So the sun is in Gemini. The moon is in Sagittarius. In the morning, it's going to happen at 18 degrees. 18 degrees is the mid-level Aries degree. So I think we're going to be standing up for ourselves and saying, like, I actually know what's happening. And I actually do know what I believe in. And I'm going to not be quiet about it. Right? Mm-hmm. So Saturn is at, I think it's 25. Saturn's retrograde, I think at 25 degrees Sagittarius. And Saturn is saying, you must stand up for what you truly believe, no matter what. And that means, like we just said, no validation. You're not going to get anybody saying, yes, you're doing great. I mean, unless you talk to one of us, like anybody, our clients, we're like, you're doing great. because we know that Saturn is taking a beating on people. So you can get a lot of validation from us, but not from the energy. And so I liken this to the way that it feels to me is if you were like on a spaceship, whatever, and you go outside the spaceship, right? And you're going out into space, and it's infinitely expansive. It just keeps going and going and going and going. Everything is possible. Everything is out there. Everything is kind of a void too. And so you keep reaching back to make sure your tether is still attached to the spaceship. That's the trap of Sagittarius. The trap of Sagittarius is to keep reaching for the tether and make sure you're not going to die because you're going too far. That's usually a good idea, right? Like, let's make sure we're not going to die and we're not going too far. But Saturn in Sagittarius is saying, no, keep going. Stop looking for people to tell you that you're amazing, you're awesome, you're right, or whatever. And just be like, this is what I think. This is what I believe. This is the new paradigm. This is where we're going. This is possibility. This is what possibility looks like. And be like, take it or leave it. A lot of people won't take it. You know, we get attacked a lot because we're just talking. It happens, whatever. You have to still be willing to show up and stand up for what you truly believe. Mm-hmm. And there's some people who are going to stand up for what they truly believe. And believe me, it's an old paradigm and they're probably going to go down. Okay, that's what happens. You have to see the repercussions of you standing up for what you truly believe. If it's old paradigm, you're probably part of the teardown. If it's new paradigm, meaning that it's purpose-driven, it's about cooperation, it's about community, it's about sacred union, it's about the creative edge, that if it's already been done, it's already dead, constantly. All of that, that's future forward, and there you go. All roads are holy. Both of those roads are holy. If you're part of the teardown, you're part of the teardown. If you're part of the creative edge, you're part of the creative edge. All roads lead to Rome. That's it. So the sun in Gemini opposing the full moon in Sagittarius is saying, open up your mind to possibility. This is a foreshadowing. You're witnessing a foreshadowing happening now, because we're almost done with Saturn and Sagittarius. Then Saturn goes into Capricorn in December, and it's a totally different story. Right now, you have to get into what lights you up. Right now, you're in a grand trine fire with Saturn in Sagittarius, Uranus in Aries, and North Node in Leo. Right now, get into what lights you up. Super important, because by December, boom, we're not dealing with fire anymore. We're not dealing with inspiration. We're dealing with rocks. We're dealing with cement. We're dealing with like, okay, let's take this down. One wall at a time, it all comes down while there's a rising happening at the same time. This full moon in particular, I was looking at it a couple days ago. So it's speaking to Sagittarius, obviously. That's about what you truly believe. And Saturn's at the galactic center, close to it. It's about purpose. It's trining into Libra. Jupiter in Libra. Jupiter is going to go, it's retrograde, it's going to go direct tomorrow. Same day as the full moon. Jupiter's going to go direct in Libra. It's saying purpose and sacred union, both. Both, right now. Today, like today and tomorrow. And I don't know if we want to get into this again. I think we talked about it in the last Hangout, but the intense Gemini aspects that we're having during this Sun and Gemini season is triggering by trine, meaning like it's lighting it up, like let's go. It's resolving Pluto and Libra for the Pluto and Libra generation, saying relationships go, ba-boom, they level up. And Jupiter's there going, come on now, come on now, come on now, you can do it. So purpose, sacred union. There's other stuff going on in the chart. Well, I mean, not to blow it off. Like we've had, I think it's 3 planets that have changed signs. So let me see if I can get this. Venus has gone into Taurus. That means be in love with being alive. you get to. Okay? Not everything is about the battle. Be in love with being alive. It's okay. Mars has gone into Cancer, and that's saying, actually, I don't feel cared for. And I have a problem with that. Not me. Well, yeah, me. But anyway.
That's a whole nother topic.
But that's another story. But like people in general, being like, if you don't feel cared for, there's a problem. And Mars has something, like Mars is going to be like, you know? And then Mercury has changed. Do I have this right? Mercury has just changed. Mercury is shit. Look at chat. Probably somebody in chat can tell me where Mercury just went. Mercury just shifted to. God damn it. What the fuck is it? It's escaping me. Mercury just shifted to. When somebody in chat says it, I'll tell you why.
Gemini.
Oh, that's right. Mercury just went into Gemini. And so like we had an intense new moon at 4 degrees Gemini while Mars was at 22. That was the last new moon. And that was like, boom, open your mind up, open up, open up, open up. Now Mercury's going to come in and give your mind a chance to solidify that and be like, okay, now we're an open mind. Fuck, what does that mean? And get really okay with not having to figure it all out right now. You have to let things develop, but at least have your mind open to possibility. Mercury's going to come in and go, okay, let's be okay with that, right? Let's not drive ourselves crazy. Let's just be okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I got.
That's a lot. That's really good. So what I've been feeling is that so from the last hangout that we had until up until now, there's been a lot, right? So right off the bat, coming off the last hangout, there was intense energy. And going from that to where we are now.
Wait, back up. What do you mean intense energy? What do you mean by that?
Well, I remember it was manifesting through everybody as like anger or like, people getting attacked. We got attacked. Like it felt
judgy, right?
Yeah, it was nasty.
Yeah.
It was nasty. And it was, everybody got triggered. I almost feel like we were all in a field of mine, in a minefield. And everybody just like stepped on a mine at the same time. And like everybody got triggered. Everybody.
So that had to have something to do with the mind in the minefield, right? Like, I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No.
But I was just thinking like, at the time when that was happening, I was thinking, what's going on with the mind in the collective? And I think that there might have been some holding on to an old way of thinking. And if you're not willing to open up, you get triggered like all the time. Boom, 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 all over the place. We got triggered too. It's not like other people were triggered and we weren't.
No, it was everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got
so anyway.
I remember you and I were like, I'm going offline. Yeah, me too. Okay, bye.
Yeah. And like we talk every day, all day by text. Like we're constantly talking with each other. And remember, you were like, are we okay? I'm like, yes, we're okay. I will totally validate you right now. We're okay.
Just want to make sure we're good. And like, because it was weird. It was very, very weird. But everyone was just being triggered. And I think that, it's exactly what you said. It was a moment where it's like, in order to get to this other side, you've got to deal with this, and people were just super triggered. So from that until now, now I feel like we're in a point where, to be honest with you, the phrase that keeps just crossing my mind and it has not left, every single time I ponder, it's stop throwing a tantrum. Like, I think that's going to be the name of this hangout. Like, stop throwing a tantrum.
That's right.
And I feel like we're all, you and I talked about this sometime this week too, where we're all like children right now, where we are throwing this tantrum. We have a vision. We know where we're going. We know the truth. We know the truth of us, right? And we see where we're headed, and we see the vision, and the veils are so thin that we can see the other side. But we're almost like throwing a tantrum for it And instead, I just want to be like, stop throwing a tantrum, look at what's in front of you, and listen to what it's telling you. And that's the part where you were talking about earlier, where it's like, be in love with life right now. It's okay. Like, it's okay. It's that part where it's like, what is in front of you? Like, what is it? The way that I explained it to you this week, you know, since not everybody is always in our conversations, in our private conversations, but what I was explaining was like how sometimes we feel like, you know, why can't I get this right now? And we don't see the big picture that sometimes life is like a mother, right? Where it's like the child wants to drive, but he's only 15, and you're just like, you need the skill set, or you need this.
You have to go to driving school.
You need to go to driving school. You need this. Like, you cannot just get what you're seeing. I'm showing you this glimpse because I'm giving you hope. I'm giving you hope, but you need to deal with, and you need to appreciate, you need to respect, and you need to honor what's in front of you right now.
I've thought a lot about you telling me that. Like, I've thought, like, that shifted me. It affected me because I constantly get into a battle of how I feel like I'm of service all the time. And then whatever I'm asking for from life, the answer is always no. And whenever you said that to me, I was like, I'm totally being a teenager right now. I am. It's like dad going, no. And you're like, just go talk to mom. And so mom says, babe, I got you. He said no. Okay. But the real answer is that not yet.
Yeah.
That's the answer. And so,
or let me show you the big picture. This isn't happening.
Here's how it plays out. It's not just no. Okay. Calm down.
Right. Right. And it makes sense because it's like what you said, it's Saturn's placement right now where we feel like it's like shun, like no, but embrace, you know, the mother, however you want to call it, embrace the mother. That's just like, I'm looking at the bigger picture, and it's a no. But how many times, even like, just for the sake of the analogy, how many times are we the mom, right? We're moms, and we're just like, hey, Sam, Genesis, Isaiah, you know, Ronan, Izzy, however you want to say, no. The answer is no right now. I don't have time to explain, but the answer is no right now. And they throw a tantrum, and because they threw a tantrum, it's like, oh yeah, well,
it's even more no. Yeah. Sam does this. Sam is he has a stellium in 8th house. He has a Leo stellium 8th house, right? So he and I, we understand each other because I have Leo midheaven and I'm a double Scorpio, and so we'll look at a bird that's decomposing on the road and laugh about it like it's weird. We're weird. Okay. It's like the combination between Leo and Scorpio. It's super weird. But also he's a Capricorn rising. And so like I started out whenever he was born, I was like, okay, I need to work on him early and make sure he's not going to be an asshole. Okay. Because Capricorn rising is just always right, no matter what.
And then you have Leo.
Right. And then Leo too. So anyway, he has this thing where if I tell him no, he'll say, why? And I'll say, because just no. And he's like, give me 3 reasons. And I'm like, I'll give you 3 reasons. I go toe to toe with him. Here we go.
1.
Yeah, 1.
You counting?
Yeah, you counting? Are we on 2 yet?
Right.
Are we? Yeah. There was one time whenever he was asking me if he could have ice cream for breakfast. And I said no. And he was like, why? Give me 3 reasons. I'm like, it's called arms, hips, and belly. 3 reasons. That's why. And he goes, fair point.
You're right.
Fair
Mom.
point.
Fair enough. Yeah. And I feel like that's what life is doing to us. It's like almost like we ain't got time right now to sit by here and tell you step by step what's going to happen. But can you just pay attention to me? Like, you need to finish your food before you can have dessert. Like, you know, like, look at what's in front of you. And instead of us just being like, oh my God, this spaghetti is actually really fucking good, we're just like, I want fudge brownie. And I feel like life is just telling us, like, look at what's in front of you. Like, what is it? Like, stop expecting your vision and stop expecting the final scenario to heal the present.
You can't tell life how it's going to show up. You can't.
No.
And you don't want to.
Yourself.
You don't want to. If life was going to show up exactly how you dictate it, you would have no sense of discovery. None.
Right.
Okay. So about the full moon in Sagittarius, right?
Mm-hmm.
About standing up for what you truly believe.
Yeah.
I think that this is becoming, I know this is really important, because you're going to witness a lot of collapse that's coming, and you have to hold on to how you feel right now.
Yes.
Right now during this full moon, pay attention to how you feel. Whenever you feel like hope is alive no matter what, hold on to that and remember it whenever we get into Sun and Sagittarius, whenever Saturn's going to go into Capricorn. When Sun is in Sagittarius and Saturn's going into Capricorn, you've got to hold the note of hope is alive no matter what. I don't give a shit what I witness on the news. I know what the new paradigm is. I know it. And I'm not going to be quiet about it. I'm not going to let people say this is the end. It's not the end. This is the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to really feel that, right? Like sometimes I, even about like our hangouts, like if it got down to like 2 people showing up, me and you, we'd still do it.
Oh yeah.
Right?
All right.
And so when you witness the collapse happening around you, where even if you have no one agreeing with you that this is actually the rise, not the fall, you've still got to stand up. You've still got to say, okay, you don't have to believe me. You don't have to believe me. But this much I know. Suffering is now over. I don't care if I'm the only one saying it. You know what I mean? I don't care if I'm the only one saying it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still going to say it.
Yeah. And I think that people are they're attaching, like, let's say hope to how they want life to show up for them.
That's right.
And it's not about that. You hold on and you attach yourself to the hope itself, to your belief. How that's going to manifest, that's not there right now.
That's right. It's trusting that life is showing up exactly how it needs to.
Right.
Opening up to that. Not opening up to, well, it has to be this way or no way. I'm sorry, that is not creation, and that is not future forward at all.
No, that's old paradigm. It's conditional.
That's old paradigm.
It's conditional. I believe in it if it shows up like this.
It has to be exactly this way. No.
We're both like,
nope. But that's difficult. I mean, like, let's not act like, that's like the best way and it's awesome. It's hard. It's really difficult to, like, the leap between what has been and what is yet to be, the leap between those two, we've been straddling that divide for 5 years. Okay. We've been straddling the divide between what has been and what is yet to be, or this way or whatever. We've been straddling that divide for 5 years. And now it's time to choose. What are you going to do? Mm-hmm. Which is it? Make a choice. No choice is bad. All roads are holy. But if you're going to make the leap into future forward, into visionary, into new paradigm, that leap is vast. It is. It feels like high risk to make that leap, and you have nothing telling you, you can do it. You have nothing saying that. You have to leap, close your eyes and be like, I believe in this, and leap. Do it. And not everyone will.
No,
not everyone will.
It's scary. I mean, right now people are throwing tantrums.
Amira told. I was talking with whenever I have tough times, I have my 911 team. Which, by the way, everyone needs their 911 team. Okay.
Yeah, especially now.
When you hit a wall, you need at least top 3 people that you contact to say, "I need help." Yep. Okay. You are. Thank you. And I got an immediate reading with Mary.
Yep.
Mary Malahan.
Yep.
She's brilliant. thank God, like she kept me off the floor, right? And I got a session with Amira, and Amira was saying that, God damn it, I forgot what I was going to say that Amira was saying. She's talking, what was it? The leap. It was something about the leap. I think that she and I were talking about Amber Khan is another practitioner who's a tarot reader. She was talking about how Amber Khan, Kahn, The Quietest Revolution on YouTube.
Love her.
Yes, she's brilliant. She was talking about how people were coming to her and saying that people were stealing her shit or whatever. And eventually she had to like draw a boundary and be like, bitch, you messed with the wrong person. Okay. But before that, she's like, and you're stealing my shit? Good on you. Good on you. And she was saying that throughout consciousness for humanity, we have archetypes that we live by, like types of people, themes that we live by, the hero's journey, all that stuff. And she was saying, I'm not following an archetype. I am the archetype. And I was like, oh shit, bitch. Yes. Yes. Be the archetype.
Yeah.
And that means that you are in front, pushing the creative edge constantly. It means that everything you do, every single thing you do is already dead.
Yep.
If it's already been done, it's already dead. And that applies to you. Like everything I'm doing right now is already dead.
Yep.
You do it, release it, and do another.
Next.
Do it, release it, do another. Do it, release it, do another.
We were just talking about this too, you and I.
Constantly. Constantly. It never ends. And that needs to be your soft place to land. Really brave in that vulnerability of always new. Really brave about it and being like, yep, and I'm new again, and I'm new again, and I'm new again, and I'm new again. You are never, never, never the master. Never.
Yep. Because the master's constantly practicing it. He's craft. He's constantly. I was talking about this to a friend of mine the other day. And it all started because it reminded me of a session that I had. I was catching up with one of my self-alchemy girls, Christina, and she was telling me how she's like, this sounds really messed up, but I kind of feel like there are some like practitioners that she's like, I don't feel like I'm anybody, you know what I'm saying? She's not a practitioner or anything, but she's like, but I feel like I've outgrown them. And then I brought that same conversation up with another friend of mine who is a practitioner. And I was just like, the problem is that information is just information until you actually put it to practice, which is when it becomes knowledge, right?
Nice.
And what is happening with that is that people are, here we go again, confusing their business with their purpose, right? So they have this bit of information or knowledge and they sell it. Okay. For lack of a better word, they sell it. It's a program. It's a thing, whatever, they teach it.
It's not shameful. They sell it. It's fine. Okay.
They sell it. And because it's like their moneymaker, because it's doing really well, they stop growing. They just stick to that. And it's like, what's your next? And so that's what happens. And the people like Christina, they learn it, they put it to practice, they master it, they get their knowledge, and they keep on growing. And there are practitioners, which is where my post came from the other day, where I said, water your neighbor's soul garden without neglecting your own. Like, okay, you're putting all this out there, but don't forget to continue mastering yourself, to continue growing, because especially if you're, like you said, like you are the archetype, or you are,
I am the archetype.
Yeah.
Right. And thank you for bringing up that post that you just mentioned, because whenever I read that post, I did not understand it. And this is the nature of being of service, that you think that your development is in how much you give.
Right. And
it is. But also, what are you doing? What are you doing for you?
Yeah.
Like, where are your triggers? How are your relationships going? Like, where do you feel like you shy away from something because you don't know enough, and maybe you just need to learn more and you're fine. You know what I mean? Like that whole, what you just said about data and it's about data and meaning. That's the axis we're on with the full moon. Like the sun is in Gemini, which is like, tell me everything, tell me everything, tell me everything. And I want to figure it out. Right. Then the other side of the axis is, and what does that mean? What does it mean? What does that mean? What does it mean?
Yeah.
And maybe you're the only one who can say. Right. That's what it is. Amira was the first person who told me that whenever I was being shy or whatever and hiding, and she's what? Yeah. When did that happen?
I missed it.
And she's like, you know, Susan, you think that people don't need to hear what you have to say because they already know. And I was like, yeah. And she's like, they don't know.
Okay, I remember that now.
They don't know.
Yep.
People want to know what's happening. Tell them.
Pretty sure you beat me up over that all the time.
That applies to everyone.
Yeah.
Like in every reading I'm in, I keep telling people, you think that we don't need to hear from you, and you are mistaken. We need to hear from every soul that has ever existed. Not that we all need to scream over each other, but there's a way that you can speak. Like there's some people with really strong Taurus aspects, right? Their way of speaking, I promise you, is about to be in how they grow food. That's coming. That's their voice.
Yeah.
There are people with really strong aspects in Aquarius. I promise you, they're going to tell us, what the fuck do we do with the aliens? And they'll be like, I'll tell you. Here we go. Everyone has a different kind of voice. Yeah. Not everything is high platform. Not everything is out of a microphone. Some things are very subtle in the voice. Like some people through just staying alive through childhood has met their purpose, and it speaks to, you cannot take me down.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like there's a voice about everything for everyone.
Yeah, that was exactly what we were talking about. And it was one of the things that I said was, between that, like I remember that this person said, I had this person on a pedestal, and now I feel like they don't know as much. And I'm like, because pedestals are old paradigm. Pedestals are being thrown the fuck down, because
we're a web. We're a web.
We are talking eye to eye. I'm not talking down on anybody right now. I'm not looking down when I'm talking to anybody. We're looking eye to eye. And all it is us looking at this massive, multifaceted thing. And everybody's looking at it from a different place and saying, oh, I see this right here.
That's right.
Someone on the other side saying, and I see this. And all we're doing is putting this big ass thing together.
That's brilliant.
And discovering it is all we're doing. But we're all talking about the same thing, that we're looking at one thing. We're looking at one thing.
That's right.
But we're seeing different perspectives, and we're seeing different voices, like you said.
That's right.
That's all it is. But ain't nobody in no goddamn pedestal. I'm gonna tell you now. They're all getting thrown down.
I actually seek out, okay, show me what's underneath, right? Like whenever somebody's like, oh, everything's perfect, everything's fine, I'm like, show me what's in your trash can. I want to see it.
Open your closet.
Right. But not judgy.
No.
But that makes me love them. I'm like, I want to see the cigarette butts that you hide. And I'm going to be like, now here we go. That's it. That's what I'm talking about.
Well, that's also one of the things that even put me on this path. Do you remember when I was, because I mean, before I was really heavy into like the girl boss babe community. And I was just like, all of this whole entire community looks like identical Barbie dolls. You all look the fuck the same. And you're all putting on this image. And then I get to know some of you, right? Because I'm working with them, I'm doing their websites, or I'm doing this, and I'm digging into purpose, and I'm digging into that. And I'm just like, hey.
That's right.
Hey, we'll do that. We'll do your website, but let's talk about this. Let's talk about this. and you break them out of this cage where and this whole time they couldn't breathe because they're trying to keep up with an image.
That's right.
Trying to keep up with an image. And so, and yeah, you fall in love with people when they're finally like, oh my God, thank God I can talk, you know?
Right. And that's the trap of Sagittarius. The trap of Sagittarius is falling into wanting validation. Whatever I need to do to get you to validate me, that's what I'm going to do. No, baby, no. Your expansiveness is beyond validation, beyond that.
Yep.
And whenever you really start to master Sagittarius, it becomes like, it's the way showers. It's the way showers.
Yep.
That's real Sagittarius.
I read an article about, and I don't know if you saw it, but it was about people who like, I'm going to say we, because I identify with the people they described. The people that growing up like couldn't finish a single thing. Like they started everything, but they couldn't finish it. You know, they have the shiny object syndrome. They see everything, that they want to do everything, and they're and so everybody kind of like writes them off as like, just like, I don't know what that's called, flaky, right? Because they like so many different things. And I'm just like, everybody that I'm talking to who is like about to kick ass, like everybody that's in line with their boots on can identify to that. And it's because of what you just said. It's because it's the people that can, it's the archetypes, the ones that can be like, I'm going to put this out. Whoop, okay, next thing. I'm going to do this. Okay, put it out. Next thing.
That's right.
We were needed for a specific time. And I call us the underdogs because at one point everybody's like, you ain't shit. You can't finish a single course that you start, or you say you're going to do this, but you don't, or you take interest in this and then you move on to something else. And I'm like,
yeah, it's the millennial thing, right? Like what's happening with, it is, it's like the millennial thing. Like you, there's a balance. There's a balance here, right?
Yes.
Like we're learning from you guys, like how to stay on the cutting edge all the time. And that's future forward for sure. You guys have to listen to us too, that some things take time.
Yes.
Right? Like
we're probably the ones
sometimes you got to stick it out and be like, I love this so much, I'm not willing to drop it. Dedication. It's both.
Yep.
It's not that one is good and one is bad. It's both.
Well, we wouldn't be alive at the same time if we didn't need each other.
That's right. That's right.
So
that's right.
Absolutely. But I do want to give hope to those people, because I still speak to people that are just like, I have so many interests that I can't do anything with my life. I'm like, pause. No. It's bullshit. Like, you're needed now, you know? And so because now is the time, I guess I'm like really and like all these people are coming out the woodwork like, I could do something now, instead of being down and depressed.
But let's think about it generationally. Like let's talk about, just briefly before we go into Q&A, let's talk about Pluto real quick, right? Yeah. Like you guys are Pluto and Scorpio. You guys really are naming, this is wrong, this is right, this is bad, this is good, this won't stand anymore, this is going to live, this is going to die, this goes on. Bam, 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 all over the place. Like harsh lines. Seriously. Like I'm Pluto and Libra, right? Like, so we're looking for balance at all times.
Yeah.
At all times.
Yep.
And we've taken it under the chin about that. Pluto and Virgo. Pluto and Virgo is saying, we're not going to talk about like reality. We're going to look at actual reality. And they have ripped the carpet up and be like, this is reality, bitch. And welcome to like the civil rights and war and all kinds of shit.
Yep.
Epidemics.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Like, so the generations keep going. So Pluto and Virgo has been about, we're going to look at actual reality. Boom. Now it's like, okay, how can we come together? Pluto and Libra. Boom. Now Pluto and Scorpio. Are we talking about reality here? Are we talking about truth? I don't think we are. Wham! And like rip it out. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It just
like an assembly line. Yeah.
It keeps going. It keeps going. It keeps going. And so learn from other generations. Don't say like, you know, well, now here's how it is. No, you are standing on the shoulders of everyone who's lived before you. You know, I feel people on my shoulders, and I witness that I'm standing on other people's shoulders too. It's both.
Yeah, I really like that you were able to make me realize that the part with it being connected to the astrology of the different, because I know you're big on that. I hear you talking about that a lot to me and to everybody else about the whole, you know, Pluto and Libra and the Pluto and Scorpio generation. So to connect that realization that I've been having with that, it really opens me up. I can't wait to take your course.
I'm excited.
I'm sure I'm
excited.
Like, I fucking knew it. The chart. I knew it. I'm not crazy. That's what I feel like these days. I feel like I wasn't crazy. See, I knew.
I've been developing the materials in my head for like the last few weeks. I'm about to start writing. It's going to be good. It's going to be really good. I'm going to pack the shit out of those hours.
I'm bringing my backpack.
Okay, Q&A.
Q&A. All right. Pamela says, so I am a Pisces sun, an Aries moon on the cusp of Aquarius. I have been like an empath on steroids and can't seem to block people's energy as I used to be able to do. I see energy all around me, and now that I am working a corporate sales in a room of 100 people, I just can imagine, you know, 5 days a week, I feel kind of crazy. Please help. How do I block all this like I used to? Susan, you just got out of there, so I think
so absorbing people's energy, right? That's all water. So let me just quickly go through the three water signs on how you survive this. Okay. I'll start with Cancer. So Cancer is like having a bucket of care. When somebody says, will you care about me? Right? And you're like, yes, I will. And give them a bucket of care. And you go, are you going to give any back? And they go, nope. And you're like, fuck. What? Why did I do that? Aww. And so it's managing your bucket of care, because if anybody deserves your care, it's you. So hold your bucket of care and be like, you're my best friend, right? And when somebody says, will you care about me? You say yes, and you give them a ladle, not a bucket, a ladle.
You give them one fuck, not all the fuck.
That's right. Because for one thing, you need to maintain your own bucket, because nobody's going to care about you as much as you care for them. You have a skill that they don't have, right? So maintain your bucket, give them a ladle, right? And then it's also thinking well of people. The trap about Cancer is not thinking well of people. Like, if I don't care about you, you're going to die. They're not going to die. If you can stand up, they can stand up, period. The end. Be like, yay, you can stand up. You can do it. And you're not going to do it for them. Okay. Scorpio. Scorpio is harsh. It's harsh because you feel all of the intensities. You feel the extremes in life. You're willing to go where other people dare not tread. And it's everything feels extreme all the time. And so the way that you survive your Scorpio-ness is to cave up, go into the cave. Scorpios live in dark, cold caves because that's where they feel shielded. So close all the blinds, crank up the AC, get under the blanket, go into your cave and be like, I'm going to stay here until I feel strong again. Do it. You don't need to explain it to anybody. Anybody who loves you will be like, yep, it's cave time. And that's it. Yeah. Pisces is the fish, right? So like Pisces feels everything all the time, super sensitive. You can feel the pain of the world. So whenever you go out and you feel everything all the time through the water, you have to retract and go back, not unlike Scorpio, back under the rock so that you can recharge. If you stay out feeling everything all the time as a Pisces and you don't retract back enough, you can get blown out. And when you retract, you won't come back out again. So as a Pisces, you have to come back and be like, and everything's shut down. Bam! Just like Scorpio. So the answer is pull it back. Be selfish. Be selfish. Be like, this is mine. I'm going, this is mine. It's precious and I don't want it to die. So I'm going to take a nap.
Take a nap right here.
We sleep a lot, right? As water people, you sleep a lot. Number one, because you feel everything all the time, but also in your subconscious, you get a lot of work done. So if you feel like, oh my God, I need to sleep, it's because you're being blown out. And it's because in your sleep, you're doing a lot of work that you can't do with your more like air Gemini-ness about your brain.
Yeah, that I just had a really funny thought when you said that, just because like even today, so Susan's internet went out. I couldn't find Susan anywhere. And I'm like freaking the fuck. Like, I mean, I called everybody, like all hands on deck. Like, I'm going to need everybody. I was about to send a search rescue. Like, I was losing it, right? And I'm just like, I don't know where she is. And after I was like, just like, I haven't heard from her. It's been 7 hours. You know, the hangout's in 2. I'm going to take a nap. My boyfriend looks at me like, what do you mean you're going to take a nap? I'm going to take a nap. I'm going to take a nap. And then when I wake up, I'm going to handle it. Okay.
It's my power move. It's my power move. That's right.
It's not very hard. I need a nap. And then I can finish tackling this. Okay. Because it took a lot to take in the fact that I'm missing someone. But for real though, like you were going to have cops at your door.
I know. And it struck me today how internet based I am. Like if the internet goes down, nobody knows how to find me. So let's all think about that. Okay.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Well, like, you know, I've been telling you recently too, where I'm just like, Susan, the internet goes down. Like, I'm fucked. Remember, I keep telling you that. And you're just like, it's going to be okay. We're going to do this together. And but today I'm like, we can't do it together because I can't fucking.
But we need to, I think that we need to start like
a plan.
We need to start a plan of really having like, you know how well, maybe you don't remember, but we used to have like, contact books.
Address books. Yes, I remember.
Address books. Yeah. Where you'd have like, well, I don't know.
I'm not that young.
But you'd really have like a book where you had someone's name and their mailing address and their phone number and then like email too, right? And you write it in pencil because people move. Yeah. I learned that.
That's right.
But yeah, I think that we need to start doing that for real.
Yeah, seriously. Okay.
Anyway.
Anyway. That's that. Liat says, I didn't get triggered. What was triggering people? I guess she's talking about after the last hangout. So when someone attacks you to respond, or I guess she means, do you respond or ignore them?
We were talking about this before we came on. I think that you and I both feel like justice driven, like we have to respond, and we're not going to respond anymore. We're still recording. Yeah, I'm telling you, we're going to go super ice on you. If you're going to attack us and we're putting our ass out here, I promise you, we're going to ice you. That's it. We're not going to engage. You're not going to get attention, and you're not going to ruin this for everybody else who is here with good intentions. That's it. We're done.
All right. So that's how you do that. Now, if it's somebody that's close to you, right? Let's talk about that. Let's talk about when somebody.
Well, yeah. I mean, like if Darling comes to me and says, "Listen, we need to talk about this. You're fucking up." I'll be like, well, you do. You talk to me like that.
Yeah, I know.
Then I'll be like, okay, I got you. I'm listening. I'm open. But just attacking to be shitty, no, fuck you.
No, that's cowardly. Those are cowards.
Yeah.
Okay. What month is the collapse? And can you, let's start with that. What month is the collapse?
It's not a month. It's years. It's going to be about 6 years. It's already begun. You're going to notice a shift. You're going to notice something something's going to shift August 21st.
Ugh.
And then in October, and then again in December. Like we're on it. We are right on top of it. And that's why I keep saying, you're witnessing a foreshadowing. Get into what lights your heart up right fucking now.
Yeah. Somebody else asked, what can we expect from the collapse? Is it similar to or the same as the one that we just had a couple weeks ago, timelines dissolving, or is this a bigger expression of
No, it's way bigger. It's way bigger. Like you haven't seen anything yet. And you're going to witness a mass exodus from patriarchy and corporate America. It's going to be like rats running from the building that's being demolished. Boom. And guess what? You're the rat. Okay. you're gonna have to get into what lights your heart up and what does community mean. The one thing that's been sticking in my mind over and over and over again in the last 48 hours is the only thing you can depend on is your family. That's a lyric from a Madonna song. From Jump. It's Jump. It's Jump. The song is Jump. The only thing you can depend on is your family. And I was like, what the fuck is that in my head? I don't even have a family, you know? Like I don't have parents or siblings or whatever. And then I was like, no, I do have family. Like us, right? The only thing you can depend on are the people that are like tribe. Go to tribe. Go to tribe, go to tribe, go to tribe. And don't give me any shit about how you don't have tribe, okay? My closest relationships live in my computer. Okay?
But okay. I'm seriously going to need you to go to either Hawaii.
So people have to start getting on planes pretty soon or I'm going to have a meltdown, okay?
You are going to have a meltdown?
Oh, that will be shocking.
Yeah, I'm about to put a rocket and tie you to it. Just be like, you know what? I don't care. Hawaii or Florida. Just pick one. Just wherever.
Just pick one. Pick one.
Yeah, it's really big. And you know, that's funny because I've been having this really huge like urge to be local. I'm telling you, it's coming. I've been having a huge urge to get offline. Not get offline. I'm always going to be here for as long as there is one. But really huge urge to be like, your people are all online. I'm going to need you to reach out. And there's been a few people that have reached out to me who live around here. And I'm just like, you know, let's get together. And for some reason I could never like be able to get together with them. Something always happens. But yeah, I've been feeling like reaching out locally. I mean, you know, even I've had like random thoughts coming up like, you should do this. And I'm like, what? No, why? But yeah, it's pretty big. The collapse is going to look like how we've spread out and said, corporate global greed and war, right, to take over the world is going to retract suddenly. It's going to go wham. Right.
And then we're going to grow our own food. We're going to figure out water. We're going to love each other again. We're going to regain our humanity. Mm-hmm. That's coming. Like now. Here we go.
Yeah.
So think about what's important to you. Don't look at the news. Don't look at commercials. Don't look at ads. What do you think? What do you believe in? Mm-hmm. Super important. Like right now, you are the future. Yep. What do you believe in? Period. Yep. Get in it. And it's not about, you had a great post the other day about you. The thing is that you think you have time. No, you don't. You have no time. There is no time.
No.
There literally is no time.
Doesn't exist.
You have right now. That's it. You're not alive in the future. You are not alive in the past. You're alive right now.
Yep.
Right now.
And I think that it's like you said, presence is a new prayer.
Presence is the new prayer.
Practice being present, then we're gonna have a very hard time.
That was North Node and Virgo. North Node and Virgo said presence is the new prayer, in my opinion. Okay. Mm-hmm. Now North Node is in Leo. let me just circle back around to that. Now North Node is in Leo, and it's saying, if you're going to deny yourself happiness and joy, you're denying it for everyone, because you are humanity. You are.
Mm-hmm.
You
it
are.
doesn't take away from the past lessons.
No, it doesn't mean that thinking about humanity is bad.
Right.
You just need balance.
Yes.
Don't fall so far into humanity that you forget that you get to enjoy being alive too.
Mm-hmm.
Because humanity is incomplete without you.
Yeah. What you want for others, want for yourself. You want others to be whole and complete, and you want them to evolve and grow, and you want them to be happy. And so what you're doing to help others do that, do it for yourself, as well.
And if you deny doing it for yourself, you're denying it for everyone.
It's like that saying, it's like, I think it's a biblical verse, honestly, where it's like, what good is it to like gain the whole world but lose your own soul? Not like we could lose our souls, but in a way to like just neglect yourself. What good is it to help everyone else if you're neglecting yourself?
There's a balance between like our awareness of our individuation, right? Being individualized,
mm-hmm.
and understanding that we're all the same.
Right.
Like oneness and individuation, you don't understand oneness fully unless you understand that oneness is you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's both. It's both.
Yeah. And what's distorted that is precisely what's about to get torn down, right? What's distorted that is this ability that we have had, that humanity as a whole, that society has had to be someone online and not really
be separate,
have that life.
to be separate,
to have this, be of service to someone as a completely different identity. But when all this is shut down and you're literally neighbor to neighbor, and they know your life and they know what's going on, they know you in person.
That's right.
That's different. So all of these lessons that we've been, having to face, like even from the days of presence is a new prayer, and from all of that, it's teaching us how we're going to survive in this time, to be able to be present where you are now without needing technology and this and this and that, and be present and okay with who you are without needing to put up a facade.
And also, don't worry. I mean, like, we're talking about a collapse. We're talking about surviving or whatever. Don't worry. I'm telling you, the astrology says it. While the collapse is happening, concurrently, a rising is happening. Concurrently. Not that not that the collapse has to be complete before the rising starts out of desperation. Nope, that's not what's happening. The rising is happening now,
mm-hmm.
right now, while the collapse is happening right now.
Yeah.
It's both. So participate in what's coming up.
Right.
Let go of what's going down. Just focus on this.
Exactly. That is the purpose of all of us. Like in this community, everybody that's here in this hangout, everybody that is in other hangouts right now or in other groups where they're talking about.
Yeah, it's not just us. Everybody's talking about it.
Everybody's talking about it because it's a global thing. We're all being pushed. We're all being divinely led to that because we are here. We were made for a time like this.
That's right.
We are here for this time. So this is not like, let's nuke humanity. No. You know what I'm saying? This is
the rising. This is the rising. This is the rising. This is not the fall. This is the rising.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Keep your eyes on that and participate in it.
I think we're at an hour. Are we?
Yep, 11:11.
Okay, so we are going to continue with Q&A if you want to stick around, but we're going to cut off the recording as we always do at 1 hour. Thank you for everyone who's here on YouTube and in the replay. Come join us live and you'll see more before the hour and after the hour.
Absolutely. And where can they find you?
Oh, yes. SusanGrace.org. You can see all the things that I do and read more about my philosophy. And I also post every day on Facebook.com/SusanGraceAstro. Is that how I am? I think so.
No, you're Double Scorp on Facebook.
Oh, Double Scorp. Double Scorp. Thank you, my brand manager. Facebook.com/DoubleScorp is where I post every day on how the energies are affecting the collective. And that's at your disposal too. I welcome you to friend or follow. How about you, darling?
And there's still time for your astrology course.
Oh, that's right. Empathic astrology. I'm starting on June 22nd. And we're at the cutoff for early bird. That's fine. You can still register. We're going to take registrations up until class time. And I'm going to teach you everything I know about reading charts. By the time you'll get out of it, you'll be able to read your chart and every chart and feel it out and know what's happening in your life.
It's exciting. All right. And you can find me at xoxdarling.com. I am also at facebook.com/xoxdarling. My personal Facebook account is facebook.com/thedarlingcastaneda. And so you can find me there. You'll see my posts on, whenever I get a reading of the energies for the collective, I post them on there, and everything else that I have going on is on my website at xoxdarling.com. That's probably the best way to find me there.
Can people still hire you for branding?
Yes, they can. And actually my fall openings are coming up now. So that's new on my website. I have a page on there specifically for people who are entrepreneurs and or looking to be entrepreneurs and finally launch their passion venture.
Nice.
And that's on there too. So if you go to xoxdarling.com, you'll see at the top, there's a work with me tab, which has you can get a one-on-one session with me. And it also has my self-alchemy information, which is a group mentorship. And you have the entrepreneur page, which is all my services to entrepreneurs together with my portfolio, which is up there now. So that's
brilliant. It's really brilliant. Yeah, you got it all. You did good.
All right.
Okay.
So
bye, YouTube.
Bye, YouTube.
Stick around if you're live.